FluentCast. Real English, real conversations, real confidence. This is FluentCast.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of FluentCast. If you are listening for the first time, hi, welcome. And if you've been here for a while, you already know how this works. I'm Diego and today we are going to talk about one very interesting topic. Today's topic is honestly one of those things that almost every English learner has experienced and probably complained about at some point. Picture this. You are in a conversation, everything is going fine, you are following, you are speaking, and then suddenly you need a word. And it's not even a difficult word. It's like a word you know, you have seen it before, you have used it before, maybe you even studied it recently, and then in that exact moment, nothing. It just disappears, and you are there like, wait, I know this, why can't I say it? So, yeah, that is what we are talking about today. Why that happens and what is actually going on in your brain when that happens. And for this, I decided to bring back someone you have already heard it here before. Some episodes ago, I invited my friend Brenda. She's an ESL teacher based in the United Kingdom, and a lot of my students actually told me they really liked that episode, and they were like, who was that? Bring her back. I liked listening to her. So, Brenda is back. Brenda, welcome.
Hi, Diego. Yeah, I'm back. And honestly, that situation you described, it's so common. It's almost like a universal experience for language learners. Everyone has that moment where the brain just freezes at the worst possible time. But the key thing to understand is this. Most of the time, the word is actually there. The problem is access. It's what we call a retrieval issue. I mean, basically, the brain can't pull the word out fast enough when you need it.
Yes, that is such an important distinction, because what I see all the time is students immediately thinking, I don't know this word. But when you look at it more carefully, it's not about knowledge. It's about access under pressure. The word exists in your memory. It's somewhere in there. But in that exact moment, your brain just doesn't bring it to the surface quickly enough. Which, yeah, it's incredibly frustrating.
Exactly. And it feels dramatic, right? Like your brain just betrayed you. But from a cognitive point of view, it's actually very normal. When you're speaking, your brain is doing a lot at the same time. You're listening, processing, planning what to say next, thinking about grammar, pronunciation, and at the same time trying to find the right word. So it's not surprising that sometimes something just doesn't come out.
And I think there is another layer here that people don't always notice, which is interference. Your first language is still very strong. When you try to find a word in English, it's not like you are searching in an empty space. You are searching in a system where another language is also active.
Yes, exactly. And usually the native language is faster because you've used it your whole life. So sometimes your brain goes there first, almost automatically, and then you have to kind of redirect yourself back to English.
Yes, it's like your brain is trying to be helpful, but it helps in the wrong direction.
Exactly. It's like, oh, you need a word? Here's the Italian one. And you're like, No, not that one.
Yeah, I hear that all the time. Students say, I know exactly what I want to say, but only in my native language, which is actually a very precise description of what is happening.
Yes, because the idea is clear. The meaning is there. It's just the English label that doesn't come fast enough.
And then there is that very specific situation where the word is almost there, like you can feel it, it's somewhere in your mind, but you just can't grab it.
Yes, that's actually something we call the tip of the tongue phenomenon. I mean, basically it's when you know the word, you're very close to it, but you can't say it. And the interesting thing is, this happens in your native language too. Like when you forget someone's name and you're like, I know this, I definitely know this. And then 5 minutes later it just appears out of nowhere. Usually when you stop trying.
Yeah, which is a very interesting advice. Just stop thinking and the word will come. Perfect, very practical, and I believe some of my students will think this is kind of controversial. But there is one thing we gotta talk that I consider one of the biggest factors affecting why we forget the word. And this is stress.
Yes, definitely. Because when you're in a situation with pressure, like a meeting or an interview, or even just speaking with someone you don't know, your brain speeds up. And instead of calmly searching for the word, it becomes a bit chaotic.
Yes, the system gets overloaded. I mean, basically there is too much happening at once, so the brain becomes less efficient at finding the exact word you want. Which is why people often say, I speak better when I'm relaxed. And they're right, because the brain has more space to retrieve information properly. So, this is probably the key idea here. Forgetting a word in the moment doesn't mean you don't know it.
Absolutely, and I think that changes how learners interpret the experience. Because if you think, I don't know this, you'll try to study more vocabulary. But if the issue is access, then what you really need is more retrieval practice. I mean, actually using the word, trying to remember it, not just seeing it.
And that, I would say, that connects a lot with frequency. The more you see and use a word, the easier it becomes to access.
Exactly. And not just repetition, but repetition in context. Hearing the word in conversations, seeing it in different situations, using it yourself, all of that strengthens the connection. It's like building a path. At first, the path is very weak, like a small trail. And then with use, it becomes something more solid, easier to walk through.
Yes, and eventually it becomes automatic. You don't need to search anymore. The word just comes. So let's go back to the real situation. You are speaking, the word doesn't come. What do?
You keep going. That's the most important thing. You don't stop everything just because one word is missing. You describe it. You simplify it. You find another way.
Yes, you said exactly what I tell my students. If you forget a word, describe it. Like, if you forget the word calculator, you can describe it like the thing you use to do math. I'm sure people will understand what you mean.
Exactly. Not very elegant, but very effective. And honestly, that's real communication. It's not about perfect words, it's about getting the idea across. And that process, that effort, actually helps learning because you're actively working with the language.
Oh, I like that point of view because it changes the whole interpretation of the situation. Instead of I failed, it becomes okay, my brain needed another way. It's not a breakdown, it's just the system taking a different route. Sometimes a very creative route, by the way.
Yes, Sometimes a very long explanation for a very simple word.
All right. So, if this happens to you, English learner, and it probably does, it doesn't mean your English is bad. It just means that your brain didn't retrieve the word fast enough in that moment. And that is absolutely normal.
Yeah, completely normal.
Brenda, thank you so much for participating today here in this awesome discussion.
Thank you, Diego, for having me back here. I was very happy to know that you had gotten positive feedback about our previous episode, and thanks for inviting me again. It is always a pleasure to be here on FluentCast.
And for you listening to this episode, if you are enjoying this episode, especially this one, conversational style, where we break things down and talk through what is actually happening, make sure you subscribe to FluentCast so you don't miss the next ones. And also, if you are thinking, okay, I need to improve my English, I want to speak better for real conversations, you can also check out Fluent English Academy. We work with students from all over the world, Europe, Latin America, different places, and everything is online, one-on-one. So it's very focused on what you need. You will find the link in the description. Thank you so much for listening. This was FluentCast. I'm Diego, and I'll see you in our next episode. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.